Hi viewers, welcome to Vision Matters. Today's our guest is Professor Padma Koli Banerjee from Amit University in India, and we will hosting her next 20 minutes. So Professor Banerjee, welcome to the program. How are you?
Thank you, Dr. Chaudhary, and thank you for having me. And I'm fine, and I'm hopeful that we go into a better world very soon, beyond the pandemic.
Thank you. I hope so. Prof, as as you saying, this is actually uncertainty. Could you give us a little briefing about your experience and like before and now? Obviously, future we don't know, but a little bit briefing from your experience. How are you coping with?
Yeah, I think this is most unprecedented. I cannot imagine in the last few decades when I grew up right from childhood to university to career, early life, we have never seen this. This is something which is completely changed the way we're going to see life. And even from times to come, I think some changes will be permanent. And if you look at the initially when this hit us, I mean, if you look at the early days, I would say, especially once it was declared pandemic in early March, and suddenly India took a decision of a complete lockdown. So nothing was, certain. So there was a lot of anxiety. There was a crisis. People didn't know what to do. Corporates were shutting down. The universities had to be closed. So there was definitely an uncertainty and a quick decision making, which is very important. It's very paramount with students living on campus. So they had to be safely sent back home. A lot of international students living, they had to be taken care of. Certain operations had to run. Your IT team were working, 24/7. So some of the most important people who were serving us were there. So a lot of things. I think it changed the way we are looking at it, including our own personal lives. Like you were setting up your household, you were looking at the ways you're going to do without a driver or the caregivers. You're taking care of elderly at home. You're taking care of your children, and I think it's overall the emotional health of people around you. So, and I think as an administrator and a decision maker, it was definitely very, very challenging.
Thank you. So, do you
Yes.
think or do you see this actually pandemic make the education system changes, or do you think we need to be care about something new for our teaching and learning? As you are educator, as you are decision maker for Amit University, how you are seeing this issue as a opportunity or problem?
Yeah. Well, definitely, the crisis that we see is something which is devastating. I think it is something which we are all worried about, and we do not know where we are moving. But let me tell you, if you bring to education front, I think some of the things that has happened in past is very important. Like I always feel that first thing first, which is one of the management lessons, that you need to take decision. So one of the things that happened in the education sector was decision making about the online learning, using of different platforms. For example, whether you use MS Teams or any other platform that you use, you had to quickly take decisions. So taking care of the people around you. So that was the first thing first. And the second most important thing in education was you were already prepared in many ways, because you must have seen that the digital revolution came a couple of years earlier. So if you look at in the early 90s, when you have the email system working, and then completely and slowly we are getting into a paperless offices. So luckily the systems were in place. And the inhibitions that a lot of academics had, that whether I should use a blended learning, whether in-person teaching is better than an online teaching. So this was perforce was applicable. And we realized that sometimes some of the classes went off very well, because sometimes the attention span was better, you were concentrating better in a particular session. So I think I would say that it was a mixed feeling. One is you never felt that you're losing those many hours. It is not an assembly line where you are not able to make production or you're not able to manufacture. You're able to here still learn. So great number of resources opened up. Best of the universities opened up their libraries. Publication houses opened up their publications, which was free. A lot of research, journals opened up. So I think suddenly there was a sea of, opportunities for researchers, for students, for academic. So I see definitely this as a great opportunity. And I think for sure that now the way we are going to learn, the way the teaching learning will take place would be very different from what it was happening so far. So I take it with the thing that there is a few negatives, but many positives in this entire thing. Of course, we are not able to see the emotional aspect, and we know that we are all social beings, and we still need to understand. But there is a role of counseling, online therapies, which are also available. So I personally feel that this whole thing is going to bring about a lot of change. If you look at our sustainable developmental goals, which has been focusing on a lot about bringing good kind of teacher training. So today, this particular situation, I can see most of the good universities have opened up faculty development programs. Industries who are sitting at home, they have realized they can bring the technology to the university. So I think we are also able to reach up to those goals of sustainable development and create an impact. So getting into a better index in terms of the goals that you can provide. More collaborations have happened. Very interestingly, a lot of universities which were competing with each other, now I see they have collaborated to come to a platform. So, and a lot of researchers who were keeping very close to their heart about their research are suddenly talking about that, how they can collaborate, whether it is vaccines being manufactured or medical equipments to be sent from one country to the other. So it is a tremendous positive thing at IC.
Thank you, Prof. So do you think, actually related to this thing is come to my mind now, the people will be working more closer than as a competitor? I mean, do you believe these lessons we already learned that from this pandemic become a more competitive rather than working together, or working together rather than competitor? Which one are you thinking will be
Yes.
actually come out?
I think it is a great question that, there I always believe in collaboration and creating a league, because we always have been talking about best practices, so I think this has given us a great opportunity. If you look at the way we are handling the crisis, right? We are collaborating because we are learning from each other. What has happened in one country can be help the other country not to go through the same problems. Similarly, I think the people they have learned that in order to come through a problem, in order to solve a problem, they have to collaborate and come to work together. And not only that, and I think there would be a synergy that will be produced. So you will be producing better work in better time and in real time. Interestingly, we have a platform, we have the internet. So, if we have a good team of people, say about a dozen of people having different abilities, then they come together. So definitely you create a big synergistic team, and you are able to create a better impact in research. Similarly, if you want to make a difference in the lives, each one have an impact on their own people around them, a community. So you will be able to influence communities of different countries together. So there is going to be much more multicultural, sentient teams that will come up, where people will talk to each other, understand each other, and work with each other.
Thank you. So I think you believe that globalization is actually happening and is actually impact to our daily life now, and we all are working from home, but we can actually collaborate more real time. I think that is actually one thing would be a good thing. So do you see that something we didn't learn yet, or do you think we should learn something different that we should not care yet, or we didn't adapt yet in education or our daily life in terms of this pandemic?
See, I think from the pandemic, one more important lesson that we have learned is about, that learning from the past. Suddenly, we are all looking at all the pandemics which has gone by. So I think one lesson that we learn from this pandemic is that please look at your failures. Please understand what didn't work. And from that, how do you improve? Either it could be a technology, it could be an idea, it could be your dreams, it could be a goal. So it is very important to understand the history. So whenever there is a whole lot of excitement about entrepreneurship, there's a whole lot of excitement about startups. But are people who are venturing into startups and entrepreneurship, are they doing enough research that what didn't work, what failed? So I think a pandemic has opened up that door where you have learned to understand what has gone by. And the second, which is very important lesson, which I have talked about in another forum, which is about, adaptability. That if you see, the roles have changed. The people who have suddenly become caregivers, like, the people who were delivering food. In India, we have a very popular Swiggy, which comes and, delivers food back home. I don't remember you even looked at the Swiggy boy in all these years, but today they have become your caregiver. So you are looking at them, smiling at them, and you are so thankful because you needed some of the most important things which they're delivering. So the way we are looking at life has changed. So I think the innovation has come through how, people are collaborating to bring about a healthy environment around you. How the police people and the doctors, healthcare workers, and a lot of psychologists that have gone to help in, helping in emotional first aid that they're able to give to the families of people. So I think that very aspect, like you said, that what do we learn and which is going to stay with us is definitely that, you need to learn from your past mistakes. You need to adopt. You need to come out with better solutions. And a very important thing is, again, coming back to our theories of management, we talk about leadership. Leaders make a difference. Leaders are able to take the team forward. You have seen, like, I always keep the example of Germany and how so quick decision making had happened, which really saved Germany. And in terms of telling the people, communicating to the world that their own country, that about 70% of the population may be hit, and out of that, so many people we may lose so many people. So the ability to connect to your people was so important. So I think, and also along with the leaders, I think you have to empower your people in the organization. So there are not just the top leadership like the prime minister or the president. They are the leadership at different levels. So suddenly in corporate world, young leaders have emerged in this time who are giving quick solutions, ideas. Young people in the team are able to come out with innovative problem solving ideas. So all of this is, I think, it's a result of the pandemic. And finally, I think which I have to mention is about the well-being front, because all this while we were so busy in making wealth, we forgot that human beings need to be well, and they need to be happy, they need to be healthy. So both your mental and physical well-being is so paramount. So that's a big lesson. So whatever you want to invent, whatever you want to start up, please keep that at the center of focus. That yes, it has to help the humanity.
Thank you.
So that these are a few things I can share.
Yeah, and you obviously written a books, and which is the Sixth Sense and Seventh Sense. You obviously written these books a few years ago. How it is actually now, adjust with this optimization, use Seventh Sense or something. Could you just tell something like how it is actually a psychologically impact with this pandemic? Does actually you have some sense already that you are actually explain in your books?
Thank you. I think it's a great question, but I have been working with as a corporate coach and life coach. I've been helping a lot of corporate people training. So I was always looking at that. What is it that really makes a difference in terms of success of a leader? So after a lot of research, I started working on the area of optimism and the positivity and optimism. So what I did was I developed a tool which measures your optimistic intelligence. And I thought that through this a little bit of gift that I can give to the world, and I knew that a lot of young people and corporate needed, that I gave the tool for free in the book. The book has, the name of the book is Power of Positivity, Optimism, and the Seventh Sense. So here, seventh sense is actually your optimistic intelligence. So what we say that just like you have a sixth sense of intuition, and what is really going to make a difference to the world now that you're going to be successful is actually your seventh sense. How do you inculcate in you that sense, seventh sense, where you are more optimistically intelligent, having better, positive emotions, having engagement at work, meaningfulness at work, the ability to, also celebrate your achievements. So I think which is very critical. And in the book, I have worked a lot about different leaders and who have achieved a lot in their lives. Right from, if you look at the life history of, Buddha, and till today, we are talking about Gautam Buddha. Or if you look at the bigs in terms of whether it is the innovator like a Steve Jobs or Vivekananda, or if you look at Mother Teresa, in their own lives and how they have created, one common factor that I've seen is that never give up attitude, which is because you develop that resilience. And that resilience is actually nothing other than your seventh sense. You have that optimism that whatever may happen, there is always a hope that, we'll be able to do it. And for that hope, you need to actually inculcate in you certain, qualities. Definitely, you have to have knowledge. You have to have a network around you who can give you good advice. So I think one of the things that I feel is, and I'm very happy at this stage, people are wanting to be more positive. There is a lot of stress because people are very emotionally devoid. People are lonely. A lot of people are having, their own near and dear ones. They have lost their lives. A lot of people are losing a lot of wealth. A lot of companies are going bankrupt. So in this particular situation, it is very important for leaders and who can hone the skill and help their own employees to have little better, optimistic intelligence. And how do you really survive in this big world and create more meaningful life for yourself and for others?
Very good. Thank you. And the last one, Prof, if you can give us a little bit about this pandemic, actually, make a huge stress for different level of the people in the world. As we also talking about the globalization, as we mentioned the technology. Do you think, or you can give a message to the world, that's not only technology, any other sector should be caring in this pandemic, so then people can actually start their productivity, start their thinking in any particular sector which could be booming in the world, not only technology.
I think if I have to give a message to the world right now is, of course, to first take care of yourself. That is the very first step, and that is very important. And the message to the world is, let us co-create. Let us come out with better solutions, because this is not the end of the world. We have to see a new tomorrow. We need to all do it together. We need to collaborate. We need to talk to each other. We need to be more compassionate. We need to spread love. We need to understand. We need peace. In this time, we have realized that how suddenly I'm getting so many posts of beautiful nature around us. You see so many butterflies and lovely birds which were almost, we thought they are extinct. You suddenly see them around you. So I think we need to all work together with the nature, with the people around us. And so a message is, let's all live together, create a beautiful world around us, and let's co-create. Let's make a difference. And we are responsible for our next generation. So let us make the best that we can as a team. And as human beings, I think we have a very big, I would say, responsibility with the brain that we possess. So we should be making good use of it, good use of technology, not only to only manufacture things, but to give a better life for people on this planet.
Thank you, Professor Banerjee. I think I'm really proud of you that you giving your in-depth explanation to this COVID-19 and your experience. And I hope a world can learn a lot of lessons from this conversation. So thank you very much again. And I hope to see you again sometimes. Stay well and keep well. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate your hard work and your commitment and your passion for this particular session. Thank you very much.